Ready to go.
Right, this time we're ready to go.
Right, we're ready to go now.
We already started, but I didn't plug the mics in.
So we're going to do the same again. Well, I might be the same words again.
Welcome to episode 6 of Bappé Knows Best.
Yeah.
And today's topic is training.
We have to go on from training, because we didn't do any training for the last 6 times. Well, basically today is the start of training day for...
Yep.
For she,
First day
for her.
for she.
For her.
First day of pre-season today.
Yeah.
First day of pre-season today. So, I'm a bit nervous.
She's a bit nervous, like she's got about 5 or 6 weeks to go till the game starts, and she's nervous already, like, you know. You have to be nervous for training. It doesn't matter if you mess up on the first day.
Yeah, if there's fitness tests, you are.
Yeah. Is there a fitness test?
I don't know. We'll soon find out.
Which means that I've got nothing to do in the month of July, which is serious business. Because June and July, even though I'm not really into football anymore, it's something empty about those 2 months. Now, I've just done the first month, yeah, which is all right. And it's good job we got a good summer, because
I went to Spain for a bit.
With football free, those 2 months are usually football free for football, not for people who play the game, because they've got to start training in July, so they've only got a month off. But us poor supporters, we've got 2 whole months to suffer, like. We've got to wait around, and you're forced to watch some nonsense like World Cup, FIFA, just the second-rate clubs to go there, like the top clubs that don't go to things like that, do you know what I mean?
I actually can't wait for the season to start, for everything.
To properly start, so it's in the second week of August, isn't it? It's
always nice when it all kind of winds down a bit for like a couple of weeks, and then the weekends get boring when there's no football.
I'm not even a proper supporter anymore. I'm like what you call a fair weather supporter.
You are.
No.
You got right into it this season.
Yeah, only when Arsenal thereabouts doing. I watch every game live.
As soon as Arsenal lose once,
right? And we're like moving 4 or 5 points behind the leaders. I'm like, you know what?
He's like, not watching it anymore, and he's not joking, by the way. I'll be like, Dad,
I'm the worst, man.
Where were you yesterday? Because obviously he doesn't have a phone, so I can't contact him. Watching the Arsenal game, and then he's like, oh no, I'm not watching it anymore.
We're done. We can't win it no more, so I'm not watching it no more. Bad supporter, like, you know?
That is a bad supporter.
Back in the old days, I'd go there 2 or 3 hours early, stand at the North Bank like that, waiting to get squashed up. I was quite a little freed because I was the first one there. I was little, and just the whole thing, the whole day. I used to actually go to work before I was 18, right? Just so I could go football on the weekends. Yeah. One weekend, I earned 50 quid. 1 week, which is probably equivalent of only 300 quid. It's like a low minimum wage. But my tracksuit that I had to buy for football was 55 quid. So I have to ask my mum for a fiver after working all week to buy a tracksuit. So I thought I looked the part. I was like, looking all like a little bit, you know. All that nonsense, it's all part of it. But when
football hooligan.
But wanna be football hooligan. I was only 17, 18. But when I got to 18, I thought, you know what am I doing? I'm like a slave to have a few hours of entertainment on a Saturday. And I gave it all up. And I started smoking a bit of that, and that's what helped as well. Like, people might give it a hard time and that, but that helps to chill you out a little bit. But
and it stinks though.
It didn't in those days. It's stronger stuff now. They make it underneath tents and stuff. You know, they don't wait for a shipment to come in. But it's a lot stronger as well now. So that's why. But anyway, we're not talking about getting out of your nut now. We're talking about getting oh my God, in it for? What's it got to do with God? Does he even exist? So that's the thing. Oh, blasphemous! Burn him! No, of course he exists possibly in your mind. In people's mind he does. Maybe he does, it doesn't. Right, we're talking
this topic's training, not God.
Right, yeah, God is the last ever episode we were going to do, right? Yeah. Because I might upset a couple of people, so then I have to go ski masking around town and all that, you know. So,
he wants more followers before he has that one, because he wants to prod a few people.
No. I don't think I'm hated enough yet. I mean, are we going to get double figures this time? Like, we've been
double figures.
Have we been double figures?
Yeah, I forgot to check before.
I see someone last night. I said, I've watched the thing. I watched a couple of episodes like that.
Yeah,
can't name no names.
She said she watches all of them.
We can't name no names.
Actually, in fact,
we're not naming any names. Anyone that's alive, we can't name their names.
You can't.
We can't mention God because he died. Was he ever been dead, or was he alive? What?
Dad, stop talking about God.
And people that have died, we can mention their names. I've made it a little rule of mine. You know? Even if we were saying good things about people, we're not even going to mention their names.
Anyway, yeah, there's been a few people that have mentioned to me this week they've been watching it and can't wait for Monday. And actually, yeah.
I can't wait for more people actually waiting there. I'm getting out early. Like, watch the iPod.
But there might have been like one person.
What time do you put it out in the mornings anyway?
7 in the morning.
Maybe you should put it out at 6 so people got to go work in the morning so they can watch it before they go work.
Look at you caring for the workers.
Someone's got to pay the tax for my benefits. Oh my God, I don't believe I said that.
And I actually said yesterday that you've been like dancing on the line, but soon you're going to be like going way over the line. I just can feel it. I know it. But this is unfiltered, so I've got to just roll with it. But anyway.
It's a good unfiltered, no cursing.
So far, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no cursing.
Yeah, I like that.
We don't want no cursing.
Yeah. Right, training. So, first day of pre-season for me. I'm not exactly as ripped as I was hoping to be for the first day of pre-season. I'm not even close to being ripped, to be fair. I don't think I've ever.
It's just not a requirement to have a six pack.
No, it's not. But I wanted to be fit.
You know what I mean? I mean, the only ones
have been training
look,
though.
The only footballers that got six packs are the ones that take the tops off, obviously. Isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not going to take it off.
No, you girls, but the boys. It's worth a yellow card if you've got a good six pack. Or if you have a yellow, you've got to be careful.
Not if you've got four already.
Oh yeah, because then it goes on to the
anyway,
next
let's talk about your training.
My training, right? But I think we're going to call this episode because I'm going to call it MAM. What does it stand for? I'm putting myself on the line here. MAM, million a month. So million always had a good ring to it. Yeah.
This is new to me, by the way. Yeah. I'm listening.
When we was kids, yeah, million. Everyone wanted to be a millionaire. I'll probably
people still do now, by the way.
No, they want to be billionaires. No, this is different. Right? Million's nothing now. You buy a nice house round here, so it's your million gone. Yeah. And think about mortgages and all that nonsense. It's just slavery out there. Is that right? Buying a house, a million is gone. It's finished. You've got nothing. You can't even go on holiday. You can't even buy.
You slept in that mortgaged house last night, by the way.
That mortgaged house that belongs to the bank, half of it.
No, actually.
That cracks me up. People go to me, don't you feel bad borrowing money off someone and owning them for a few weeks until you get your jar? I says, yeah, but I don't owe money for 25 years, I say. Only for a couple of weeks. And I thought, well, that's different. What's different about it? You borrowed money off for just a lot more money, that's all. Because you wanted it sooner than you really actually deserved it. But no, this is bullshit, right? Because really, we all deserve somewhere to live.
BS,
and a piece of land. BS. Do you know what bullshit? BS, yeah. Because we're gonna abbreviate everything, yeah. So BS is the mellowest of all the swear words, isn't it?
You got lots of tabs open this morning.
Eh?
You're talking about a lot.
We have to talk about it. How much time we got left?
Like 12 minutes.
Say it.
Come on, talk about your training.
There's just not much to say.
You're going off topic.
So we're talking about millions. So millions always had a ring to it, yeah. Millionaire back in the day. Now it's billionaire like or whatever. Not that I think that the rate has gone 1,000 times more. So that's been exaggerated because you know a billion is 1,000 million. Yeah. If anyone didn't know that, you have to have 1,000 millions to be a billionaire, right? Well, it's certainly from 5 years ago. Anything's only gone 3 or 5 times as much. So really, we should be going about, I want to have 5 million instead of a million, like. But it's not. The thing about millions, what can I do in a million times? A million times sounds a lot in a reasonable time frame. Now I like the time frames of the moons, the way the seasons work. So you know, a million a year. Well, who's interested in the year? Who's going to wait a year and look around? Has he done a million of this? No. Even a season. Million a month. Now, luckily, we've got 31 days this month, so it gives me an extra day or two. Because an original month
is... this a challenge?
Yeah, this is a challenge. An original month is only actually a moon. There was 30 moons in a year, yeah? I think it's around about 27 and a half days, 27 3/4 days. So that'd be a bit shorter, it'd be a bit harder to do. But we're doing this new Julian, I think it's a Julian calendar or something. Named like Julius Caesar or something like that, or the Gregorian. I'm not sure, but for somehow we've started the year on the 1st of January, which is madness because it starts like about 10 days before that, yeah, when the sun's 8 small. So we've rectified and we're only 12 months in instead of 13. So which gives me an extra couple of days to do a million of what? This is the question.
Drum roll.
A million punches in a month. Right? This is not. Look, these are not knockout punches or picking fights with people on the street because, first of all, I'll probably get arrested or I'd end up in hospital depending on what I punch.
Which one do you think's more likely?
Depends on what I punch, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Right. So it's a bad result whichever way you go. Now this is on an immovable wall. First, now when I talk about a million punches, I'm not talking about standing in front of a little bag and go like that doing as many in 3 minutes. I've seen them do this competition. I think they had to try and get. I think the record is about 1,000 in a round. A round is 180 seconds, blah blah blah. Yeah, and it's not shadowboxing either because there's nothing to touch. Yeah, so you can do that all day as well. Like, so it's something. There's a couple of items. There's a small heavy bag. Yeah, and there's a small heavy.
What's a small heavy? bag?
A light. They're called heavy bags, the things, but it's a light heavy bag. That big thing you got.
The big.
Thing. Yeah.
Like a big punch
bag.
It's
not a heavy bag. Usually like hundreds of pounds, right? What they call it, kilos nowadays. Europe, what they call it in Europe, kilos or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, it's a light one, yeah. A bit of that, and a bit of this reflex.
The head one.
It's a thing one you got.
And
around
then
your
the
head,
button.
and you got to touch. And then eventually I got to fix this up probably halfway during the month of July. I would switch that heavy bag.
For the round one.
For the round one,
elastic.
with the ceiling to ceiling. So you've actually got to make contact with something a million times in a month, right?
That's a lot, Dad.
It sounds excessive, but when you break it down,
all right, what's that a day?
All right, I'll tell you. Let me give you an example. Once, like when I got a bit of money, like off my old man when he passed away, like I'll give her my last bit. Yeah, I said to her, give me £1,000 a month. Yeah, okay. This is where. So £1,000 sounds great, you know, especially when you haven't got to pay no rent and all that. I mean, it's just for spending, right? But when you break it down on a daily basis, it's only 30 quid a day. That is what it is. So when I broke down $1 million, I said, "What's $1 million?" And divide that by 30.
431.
Just over 30,000. Wow, 30,000. That's still quite a lot, yeah,
In
a day, yeah. But when you break it down again, like, do roughly about, conservatively speaking, between 2 and 3 punches a second, yeah. So that sounds like a lot, yeah, but it's not really, no. So when you break it down, it's only actually between 3 and 4 hours, yeah, of training, yeah. I mean, solid training.
3 hours of training a day.
Which is
good job you don't have a job.
Well, the thing is, yeah, this is what makes me laugh. People go to work for 9 hours, but do they do 8 hours? But do they do? No, they probably do between 1 and 2 hours for actual work.
I do more than 1 or 2 hours of work in a day, Dad.
I've seen people must be able to decide that this is where they're gone. This is everyone apart from me and a few others. Like they got these square things, yeah. They're addicted to, and they don't realise what's going on there. Like, yeah, they're walking. I see a kid. He must have been like. In his early 20s, his neck was down there. I was walking down, and you could almost see the little knot in his back.
It is bad.
It is bad. But and if she's saying it's bad, because I don't know how she sees other people do it, because she's doing it herself, like. But she's not doing it all the time. Occasionally, when she drives, she
I don't.
No, she wants to look at her phone, but she can't. She's got, and this is the only chance apart from here that I can actually talk to her. Apart from if it's a reply to, can you make me a cup of tea, right? Yeah, which is just now, yeah. This is, but you don't realise it until you don't do it. So I say to everyone, and it's not just the young uns.
Sorry about him, by the way.
But listen, there's nothing much to say about this. We can talk about this now because I basically say I've got to do $1 million a month. So basically, 3 or 4. So basically, it's 100 hours a month you got to do. Yeah, you can do about 10,000 punches in an hour. Yeah, so just work it out for yourself, okay? So I'm gonna do $1 million a month, but I could mess this up because I've done a few trial runs. I've done like 2 or 3 hours of this in the last week and that.
And I've messed you up in
a morning shift. Well, how did you mess me up again?
No, as in you wanted to do it the other day, and then I got home late from
yeah, because I was with the little ones, isn't it? So I can't really do that consistently out there because it's even worse now than when they were younger because now they do all sorts of mischief and stuff. So the other day, right, I was dozing off, right, and I heard stuff behind me. And I saw JJ. And all of a sudden I looked in the back garden and said, "Look what I've done." And he crammed all those balls, right, in there. They were lying all over there. And I think he's quite strong, you know, my grandson. He took the hinges. I think he took the hinges off the back there.
I know broke it.
He's always trying to do, but I was half dozing off, so I'm kind of guilty for that. So I should really fix it, but DIY absolutely crap. Man.
No,
Can't do DIY.
No, just don't.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to leave it to someone else to do this. Right. So I'm going to start this on the 1st of July. This thing, yeah. She's starting today her training, yeah.
I've started my training today, but I want to do a challenge.
Yeah, but it is a challenge. It is a challenge. She wants to get fit, and she wants her other half to stick her in the team sheet first on the team sheet. Not,
no, that's not the case.
13th or 14th, like, you know. Maybe if we're winning 5-0, it can come on for 5 minutes. She doesn't want to do all that nonsense anymore. She's been there. She wants to be back up there again 10 years later. So,
you know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
When I went back in the day at AFC, and he came to watch me play once, and I was on the bench, and he comes round. He's so embarrassing. He doesn't embarrass me very often because everyone loves him.
Not everyone. I know some haters.
Okay, there are some haters.
I'm putting myself on the line.
But listen, game is on, like full on. Manager standing. The manager was standing at the front, you know, he was managing, and all you hear is, so I'm sitting in the bench. This is when we was playing at Sutton United. Do you remember this? He's like, Babs, and I'm like slowly turning around, like cringing, like, oh my god, Dad, what are you about to shout?
I can't remember this.
Babs, why are you on the bench? Why are you not on the pitch?
Oh, how long ago was that?
Oh my god, that was years ago.
Was that half your manager then? Yeah?
No.
Oh, that was. Well, that must have been the time even before she became their top scorer. Yeah, was it?
What was before or after? No, I reckon that was after.
So was the top scorer sitting on the bench, man?
I don't know.
What happened there, man?
Maybe it was before then. I don't know, but it was a one-off because that's why you were so confused.
Yeah.
If you knew I was on the bench, you just.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is why I'm a bad supporter. As soon as she comes off the pitch or whatever, back in the day, I'm walking to the tea hut, or I'm not interested in the game whatsoever. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm proper fair. When it came to internationals, I'm not interested in England until they get to the quarter-final. Then I want to see 3 matches and hopefully win them all, but it never happens.
And you want all the Arsenal players on the pitch.
And I want all the Arsenal players to be on the pitch. Not all of them, all the England, obviously the England players.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's the only thing I really support England for. I feel a bit of a traitor, like saying that. But it's the way it's become. I used to love England, man. I painted a flag. I painted a big bed sheet once. Like, can you believe me, a Union Jack, the old butcher's apron? I painted it with Arsenal on it, all that, and I took it wet up to Goodison Park, man. Goodison Park is no more, right? It was still wet. It was smelling of paint, and I could smell in them days before the COVID come and took my smell, yeah?
When was this? How old were you?
I was in 81. We got to do... Check it out. It's the third round of the FA Cup, so it would be January, being cold. That's why it took ages to dry. It didn't even dry. It was still on the train going to Liverpool, like that. And it was either 81 or 82. It might have been 82, 81. I think it was 81, actually. I think I was still at school. Because I was going to a few away matches because I wore the scarves until I left school, and I bought the tracksuit and got into all that nonsense for a couple of years. But it's not, and I loved it all. And I was such England, Britain. You know what I used to do as a kid? Believe it. We had three channels back in the day, yeah, and they used to play the national anthem at 11, 12. I used to stand up at 12 o'clock at night. I shouldn't have been up anyway, but to the national anthem. Now I turn my back on it. I'm so bad, man.
It's so funny. As Wimbledon playoff game, right? We were sitting in different parts because me and Kev had the posh seats at the top, and Dad was sitting with Presley, like pretty much behind the goal, weren't you? Anyway, I knew roughly where they were. I knew roughly they were near the front, right? So when I first sat in my seat, my iPhone zooms in like mad. So I zoomed in to find them, and I found them, which was crazy because there was obviously so many people there. Anyway, I knew to do this, and I've got footage of it. National anthem's on, so I'm like listening to the national anthem, maybe even singing it. I don't remember. What? I probably was. But then I just had this urge.
Do you know the lyrics to this song?
I just had this urge to get my phone out and film, standard me. And I zoomed in. Who is the only person in Wembley sitting down during the national anthem?
And my nephew.
And Prince.
I can't mention no names. Like,
oh, sorry.
No, you can do what you want. It's me. So it's not one like, yeah.
Him and Prince sitting there like this. I'm going to share it. I've got to share it. I'm going to post it. You have to see it, honestly. It's so funny.
I mean, even security guards are singing the song, like, and they're from Timbuktu, some of them, like, wherever, like, you know what I mean? They're loving it. Everyone's loving it apart from me. Because only Muggins has actually read the history books and all that, you know, of course. I mean, we're allowed to change our minds, aren't we? Like,
yeah,
I mean people might call me a traitor and all that, but that's all that old school, isn't it? We're moving
I was cracking up. That was really funny.
I mean, the time of flags let's finish these flags and territories and finish this nonsense. It's not going to finish, obviously, but let's just. Everyone that can say it once on TV, even in front of 10 people, 8 people, I don't care, right? We've got to stop.
No, we've got a few more than that.
I know we need to wear our tops and that when we play football so we can recognise who we're going to pass the ball to.
I hate uniforms.
I hate uniforms, man. I didn't have to wear one. I went to a German school, and then towards the end I went to an easy-going English school where they didn't really care about the uniform. They just wanted people just to turn up in this place, yeah, so they were happy with that. So school-wise, I've had quite an easy time. I wasn't indoctrinated, which is, thank the universe.
You nearly said back the Lord then.
I nearly said that. Now, you might say the universe is the Lord, right? Yeah. It quite possibly is, but I don't think there's anyone in charge here. Like, so it's all about vibrations. Good vibrations or heavy, high vibrations, low vibrations if you're into grumbling, negativity. Yeah, that's it's a low vibration.
Country are like that.
Well, we got to blame the weather, you know. Gossiping, that all negative stuff, yeah, is a low vibration, yeah. High vibration is smiling, not smiling as in I'm going to get you, and not that kind of smiling. Like, generally friendly, how are you? Smiles, yeah. Don't talk, don't gossip. That's another really important. No idle chat, yeah. I mean, these are all words that seem familiar to people who read these books. They're called religious texts, and there is associations with all this. Yeah, there is good stuff in all of these, all of those religions. Yeah, but I'm not going to say that's for a Because I say it all the time, don't I? She's laughing. Because you have to be careful when you do this stuff. You can repeat yourself, right, as well, yeah?
Yeah, but we haven't got time to go into that because we're about to hit 20 minutes. So let's wrap up.
Does it have to be 20 minutes? Well, the thing is,
no, it doesn't have to be, but
she's gonna do it. She's gonna do a little montage, yeah. I know she's when I'm training, yeah. And
I haven't even said this to her.
Yeah, I know she's gonna do this, right? But
yeah, I'll give you some proof.
She needs some proof that I'm not just gonna go. That's not boxing, is it?
But I'll do a challenge too. I'll do kick ups. You've got to dance around. But I can't. I don't have.
She can't do a million in a month. That's ridiculous because you can only do like one kick up a second, roughly.
I've got a lot.
So you'd have to do 9 hours of kick ups every day. You ain't got the time. Even me, who doesn't work. I couldn't even do that for. You see, you got to do something you like doing as well. You can't just do something.
So how many?
That's why you need to get a job that you like doing. Otherwise, no point in going to work, is there? But
yes, Exhibit 1.
Yeah, she's one of the 20%, man. She's lucky, man.
My job.
She's made her own luck, mate, basically, like So, but she's going to send a little thing, with a tracksuit
so
top.
How many should I do?
Well, no, do send a little one every week.
No, how many kick up? What's my challenge? Yours is 1 million punches in a month.
So it's got to have a ring to about 250,000 in a month. Could you do that? That's about 2 hours worth of kick ups. 2 hours.
I don't think I've got 2 hours in a day. Right. I don't even sleep much.
Let's say how many.
I have to sleep less. I do an hour. I do an hour of kick ups a day.
An hour of kick ups.
Shall I just do mine time wise? An hour of kick ups a day, and then see how many I can do.
And I'll count them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because kick-ups is a great... Kick-ups, people might think, what's kick-ups? Kick-ups is just great for control.
Well, it's helpful for me because in pre-season anyway.
So. Yeah, because you control the ball. That's what it really does. It doesn't make you actually play the knowledge of the game. I mean, you can be brilliant at kick-ups and not even get into a semi-pro team because it's about the mind, the game, the angles and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Right, so... 1 million punches in a month.
And starting on Tuesday morning, and we're going to count. I'm not going to count each one individual. What I've basically done, I'll explain it next week. Worked out an average, a conservative average. How many you can do in 3 minutes?
Yeah, we'll have for the next month. We'll have 5 minutes of each episode to talk about.
Yeah, with all the details,
and then we'll go on to our topic. So we're not going to talk about training for a month.
No, we'll just have a little 5 minutes, blah, this is what's happening, and then go on to something completely different. Maybe associated with kind of training. We've done food, didn't we? We leave food for a while, isn't it?
But you wasn't supposed to say that word.
Oh, yeah, we can't talk about food.
You nearly got... You got through 20 minutes of it, but we've gone over.
Look, we went even out last night, and they converted the back of the pub into a bloody cooking place. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah, behind the pub. That looks cool, though. I'm going to look into that.
It looks cool,
yeah. The what was it called? I took a picture, I can't remember.
What? The pub?
No, that's what they were doing back there.
Yeah, there's stuff they got on telly.
It was a good night out.
The geezer with the bald head and the glasses ain't there, so girls don't worry, he's not around, right?
What?
The geezer with the bald head and the glasses, the one that got into trouble for saying rude comments to them and all that. He wasn't there.
What?
Anyway, it don't matter. I watch some nonsense. I watch news. I don't really watch all these programs on the TV. I just watch news, right? Yeah.
1 million punches a month. 1 hour of kick-ups a day.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I'll see you next week. Not next week. Hopefully by this time I should have done about 250,000.
Next
roughly.
Week. Next week I'm going Ireland. No, but...
I won't come with you then. We can...
No, next week. On Sunday I'll be here.
The Guinness Brewery or something like that, eh?
On Sunday I'll be here, so we can do next week's episode.
When are you going to Ireland?
I'm going to Ireland with work. I'm going to Cork for a week.
They go on holiday when they call it work, you know what I mean?
It is work.
It's work.
It is work.
Just write a couple of emails. Having a nice time in Ireland. Great, man.
It's going to be sick, though.
Just what I'm saying.
No, because I love my job.
Listen, you're not supposed to enjoy it. I remember
what do you mean I'm not supposed to enjoy it?
I remember back in the day, I know they were sort of half joking, but people used to say, people in charge said, stop laughing, this is work. You're not supposed to enjoy yourself.
Oh, we're allowed to laugh.
See, you're allowed to
You're
do
missing
that.
it. You're missing out,
They're allowed to do that now.
You're missing out on this work these days.
They hunted me out of work. By the time I was 18, I was done with it. By the time I was actually not a boy,
you're missing out. It's so much fun, and I've met so many amazing people.
When the people say amazing, then I know it's not amazing.
It is. Right? You wouldn't know. You'd never understand.
Understand what?
Understand the enjoyment that I get out of this job.
Like I said, she's one of the 20%ers, yeah, and a good for 1 in 5. I'm a 1 in 5.
On that note, let's go. Right, you happy?
Next week,
challenge? Next week.
Next week.
See you then. Laters.
Bye.